Hello all my Kenvians, and welcome to a brand new episode of Discovering Doctor Who. Today, the episode I'm going to be watching is the beginning of the end, shall we say. From what I hear, it's kind of a two-parter, but the beginning of the two-part finale to Series 10, that is World, Enough, and Time. And I still feel like that title is really awkward. I mean, it just doesn't... I don't know, maybe they'll say it in the context of the episode and it'll make more sense to me, but overall it just seems like a really strange and awkward title for the episode. But that's beside the point. You're not here to hear what I think about the title, you're here to hear what I think about the episode. Not only hear it, but see it, because this is a video. I'm talking too much. Let's get right into the episode and begin World, Enough, and Time. And begin. I came in late to this story, apparently. Okay. So, I was wrong about the last time, in which I said that was the shortest intro to an episode ever. This was the shortest intro to an episode ever. I mean, come on. And, I mean, apparently, clearly is going to be a two-part deal, or maybe three-part deal, because if he's regenerating at the beginning of this episode, and he doesn't actually regenerate until the Christmas special, I don't know. Oh, spoilers for anyone that didn't know that already. Steven Moffat. Uh-oh. Oh, hello.
I'm Doctor Who. And my plucky assistants. Thing one and the other one. And here we are to help. Yeah, but he's called the Doctor. He says, I'm the Doctor, and they say, Doctor Who. You've come to the chase, baby. I'm streamlining. I'm saving us actual minutes. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's what? Look at the screen.
Look back. Wonder who I was and why I
No. No.
This is a bad idea.
No, it's a good idea. A test run. She thinks she can be me. Let's try her out.
Why? Just promise you won't get me killed.
I can't promise you that.
Fine.
Is she like Iron Man now? As a thing to protect her heart. But you know, if you saw the Iron Man movie, he had the thing in his chest. Volume. Oh.
Sorry, mate. I'm really sorry.
Dear. Oh. This is messed up. God.
Sorry.
Just got worse. Just got worse.
I'll take the good one.
Excellent. Positive attitude will help with the horror to come.
What horror?
Mainly the tea.
Okay.
But evolution is not fast enough. the special features. They are strong. Soon, we will all be upgraded like them.
Very nice.
The pain will be cured, and the Exodus.
Wait. Did he just say upgraded?
Operation Exodus. We will leave this city. We will climb up through the ship. And we
Are they making them into Cybermen?
We could just go up right now.
We have to explore.
Oh dear God.
It's all right. It's just.
But we've got something for that now. This won't stop you feeling pain. It won't stop you caring. It fits over your head.
That I've seen that before. Where have I seen that? Where have I seen that before?
Okay, you two. Welcome to.
Is it a different kind of Cyberman?
How much time has passed here?
God.
It's a scary thing with you, isn't it? We ought to get that now. You don't remember me, do you?
Earth-like planet, but not Earth itself.
Remember him.
Very Earth-like if planets have twins.
You don't remember being here before, do you?
I've never been here before. Will you please stop
Wait.
whistling on, or I'll have to splatter your brains with finger paint.
Oh, you have been here before. You really can trust me.
I just remembered something from that first trailer for the series. Oh no, is that Bill? Is that Bill? No, oh no. Oh no. Oh. Mondasian Cyberman.
Where's Bill Potts? You know me.
Oh.
Am I supposed to know what you're talking about? Would it help you focus?
I'm so
if I
confused.
Extracted some of your vital organs and made a lovely soup.
You would never be so self-destructive.
So what?
Oh no.
Neither would I. Listen, we mean you no harm.
Oh no.
Passing through.
Mr. Razor is the master. A version of the master.
Potts, you're a Cyberman. You're part of a neural net. Can you find her? I love disguises. Do you still like disguises?
Oh no.
Of course, they are rather necessary when you happen to be someone's former prime minister.
Oh no. Ah.
Bill Potts. I am Bill.
It's Bill.
Hello, Missy. I'm the master.
Ah.
I'm very worried about my future. Give us a kiss. Bill? Bill, talk to me.
Ah.
Operation Exodus.
Ah.
I call it a genesis.
You met yet?
Specifically, the genesis of the Cybermen. I waited for you.
Ah. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say right now. I don't even know what to say right now. I'll try and gather my thoughts here and talk about this episode here in just a minute. Oh my God. Okay, everyone. I'm still kind of reeling from what just happened here. So I apologize if I'm going to be stumbling a lot, or even if I don't really give full thoughts on some of my points here. I'm at a loss for words, and I'm just gonna get through this as quickly as I can. But let's start off with my favorite parts about this episode. First of which is Missy's introduction, or the way Missy introduces herself in the show, or in this particular episode, having to do with basically it's like, I'm Doctor Who, and these are my pets, my assistants, she goes through a lot of different names. But it's just like, that entire intro to the episode was just really funny and clever. And, I mean, no lie, if there was an extended version of that, or even like just sort of a short surrounding that, where, things didn't immediately just go to hell like they do in this episode, I would love to kind of see that. Or even just maybe like a short of the Master or Missy with a companion sometime. I just think that would be really cool, to be completely honest. My second favorite part about this episode was just the whole mention of Doctor Who. Referring to Doctor Who as the Doctor's real name. And, I mean, in a lot of ways, I can actually see it being real. The Doctor didn't actually deny it in this episode. He did say that, Missy was trying to get Bill all riled up, but he never actually denied it. And he did mention that he actually kind of likes the name. So, I mean, maybe it's like, his real name is what came before, but I guess there is a good chance that he originally called himself Doctor Who, so I don't know. And then that also plays into the whole thing with the TV movie, with him being referred to as Doctor Who, because if you've seen that, and I apologize for spoilers if you haven't seen that movie yet, but he has amnesia. So, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, but anyway, moving on from there, my next favorite part of this episode, and it's something that's been played on in previous episodes as well, but the mention that the Doctor desperately wants Missy to be good. He desperately wants that old friend of his who he saw such wonderful, great potential in. They used to be great friends. They dreamt of traveling time and space together. He desperately wants Missy / the Master to be good. I don't know. There's just something about the way that's portrayed that I just love. And it's only really in passing. I absolutely loved that part. My next favorite part of this was the mention of the whole gender thing. And I know that a lot of people, thankfully not as many as I thought there would be, but a lot of people really don't like the idea of Time Lords being able to change genders. They're not necessarily being born the same gender that they are now, and that they can actually change genders. And Bill even points out, which is, just another great thing. It's like, so you call yourself Time Lords, and then, there's also the title Time Lady. So just that entire little conversation there, I absolutely loved, because it's sort of a loving way of addressing the people who are excited about the new Doctor and how she's going to be, and also a bit of a, let's say, friendly jab at those who still can't let go of the fact that Missy is the Master, and really don't like the fact that the new Doctor is a woman. So yeah, I'm sorry, I just really like that. I'm sure that's probably gonna get me some thumbs down on the video, but I can't help it. I like what I like. Now, my next favorite part of this episode was the whole concept of it, that different ends of this gigantic spaceship were moving at different speeds. They were, each different end moves at a different rate of time. So the far end of the ship moves at what I guess we would consider normal time, but that part of the ship that is closest to the black hole is moving incredibly slow, in comparison. So yeah, I really like that whole concept. I feel like it has been done before, not necessarily in Doctor Who, but it's been done in other sci-fi shows or books. I can't think of any movies in particular, but I feel like something similar to that has been done before. Now, my final favorite part of this episode was Mr. Razor. For a number of reasons. One, he was just this very quirky, insanely interesting character who I just couldn't fully grasp what he was all about. I just didn't really get him. And actually, now that I think about it, that does raise, I'm thinking about there is one annoyance about him that I'll address here in a few. But yeah, there was a whole lot about Mr. Razor, aka Saxon, that I just don't even know how to put it into words. Just really interesting, really well done, in my opinion. So yeah, those are all my favorites. As for my annoyances, okay, so my first annoyance is the regenerating at the start of the episode. I get that it's part of a two-parter, I guess technically probably a three-parter if the Doctor isn't actually regenerating until the Christmas special. But I don't know, it annoys me that they went that direction, that they had to use that as the intro. It's like, why didn't they just use the intro, like the part where Bill gets shot? Why wasn't that the intro? I mean, it would be weird as hell for Bill to have a big hole in her and then all of a sudden, the Doctor Who music starts up. But I mean, it just, that really bothers me when sometimes that kind of thing can work. But I feel like here, especially with the concept of the Doctor regenerating, it just felt unnecessary. It felt stupid. Now, my second annoyance is they have the counter for like the number of days or the amount of time that's passed where they are, and on one end of the ship, and the amount of time that's passed on the other end of the ship. How are they able to do that? How are they able to accurately depict the amount of time that passes on each end of the ship? I mean, especially if supposedly there was originally something that went... I mean, that may have just been a story that Mr. Razor / the Doctor made up. But, I mean, just a lot there doesn't add up. I mean, how are they able to account for the amount of time accurately that passes on the end of the ship that's closest to the black hole versus, you know, their own time, which, I mean, it's understandable how they can clock that. I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense to me. And then finally, my final annoyance that I just wrote down, honestly, is Mr. Razor's disguise. And the fact that it was simply a mask that the Master pulled off. I don't know, I expected it to be some sort of maybe like hard light hologram or something along those lines, because if Bill was around Mr. Razor that often for a number of years, how I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's like maybe it's a disguise he takes off and puts back on every day. But if that were to happen, it's like, I don't know. There's so many questions there that don't add up for me. So yeah, just the disguise itself, I feel like that could have been done a little bit better in a way. I don't know. But it just didn't fully make sense, again, considering the amount of time, the span of time in which we see Mr. Razor. I don't know whether to call him that or the Master or Saxon. It just, whatever. Now, I did have some moments of terror, clearly. Probably the two biggest of which, the first of which was when it dawned on me that they were referring to Cybermen. And I don't know if I'm wrong here. I feel like I remember in the past when Cybermen have been around and they have turned people into Cybermen, that they referred to them as being upgraded. So when Mr. Razor said that they are going to be upgraded, that just, I don't, and especially with the robot voice, that monotone robot voice, that just seemed to make all kinds of sense to me. So just the realization that this might be some form of Cybermen just terrified me, to be completely honest. And then that brings me to the second and final moment of terror for me. And I mean, honestly, you could basically say it's that entire last little segment of the episode. I hope to God that YouTube, or rather BBC, isn't going to copyright flag me on this, because I feel like I need to leave in that entire last section of me watching this episode, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But basically, my second and last moment of terror here is the Master and Missy and the Mondasian, however you pronounce it, Cybermen. Just, oh my God. Oh my God, I cannot imagine how that must have felt to be watching this show, knowing you were going to have to wait a week to watch the next episode, and just seeing all of this crap transpire. And again, I remember seeing a shot of Saxon at the end of that, at the end of the first episode of this series. Coming soon. It's like, you know, at the very end of that was a shot of Saxon. I completely forgot about that until that conversation with Mr. Razor / the Master / Saxon and Missy. And even now, I don't know what to say about that. I just feel confused beyond belief. So yeah, A heck of a moment of terror there. You could probably even throw that into one of my favorite parts of this episode, just because of how much I enjoyed it. Yeah, let's move on from there. Moving on from there, a question I have, and I don't know whether it's actually going to be addressed in this next and final episode of the series or not, but the nurse, or I assume she's a nurse, and the surgeon guy, who are they? Like, who are they? Are they literally just characters that are meant to be like a grumpy nurse and a creepy as hell surgeon? Or what? Are they actually meant to be like major players in this, or what's going on? Or are they just basically characters that in the next episode they're just not even part of the story anymore? It's hard for me to say. I mean, the only way to find out is for me to watch the next episode. But yeah, God. Oh, I'm still just so confused by everything else that's happened. But I am curious, who are the nurse and surgeon? And I guess, again, I may or may not find out in this next episode. Now, my track of the episode, there were a lot of really good ones in this, but the one that stood out the most to me was during the scene where the doctor and Bill were sitting down at night, like out in it was somewhere on the college campus or the university campus at night, and they were eating chips, or fries as they call it here in the US, but chips. And I mean, I basically just call the track Chips with the Doctor and Bill, because it was very intense, but at the same time just very heartfelt. It was sort of spanning that, you know, something is coming up. I don't know how to describe it. I apologize. But it was just a really good track that I enjoyed a lot. So I'll just leave it at that, because my ADHD is flaring up and I'm going to start talking more nonsense if I don't stop now. So yeah, that was my track of the episode, one that I completely made up as far as the name goes. But I'm sure you know the one I'm talking about, since if you've seen the episode. And then finally, my quote of the episode: "Hello, I'm Doctor Who." And that of course comes from Missy at the beginning of the episode, and it was just a perfect line. And it plays into, you know, well, it's like, you know, my first favorite part being Missy's intro in the episode. I mean, that's just the perfect way to open it up. It's like, "Hello, I'm Doctor Who." It worked so well. And again, I do wish that we had a version of that where it's like, you know, it went on a little bit longer and things didn't immediately go to crap. So that's all I have to say about those individual parts. As for my feelings on this episode as a whole, my annoyances aside, I loved it. Like, again, I feel like that intro bit should have been left out with the doctor popping out and regenerating, because it has nothing really to do with this particular episode, even if it is sort of a, you know, part of a two-parter or whatever. But the episode as a whole was really good, especially building up to those last few minutes. Oh my God. And it definitely has me pumped and ready to watch the next episode, which unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do tonight, which drives me crazy. So hopefully I'll be able to watch that next episode tomorrow, or possibly sometime over the next few days. But either way, I am so ready to watch the next episode. That's really all I have to say. As always, everyone, please do let me know your thoughts on this episode. You know, some of your favorite parts, your annoyances, any other moments of terror you might have had, and you know, also let me know what you thought about what I had to say there. you know, as far as the question goes, you know, if it's not actually answered in the next episode, then, you know, feel free to let me know any information about that nurse and surgeon you might have. And then, of course, you know, any other tracks you might have enjoyed, the actual track that I mentioned, or the actual name of the track, if you know what that is. And any other quotes that you might be able to think of. But yeah, it was just, I'd love to hear what you all have to say. Look forward to having conversation down in the comments. As always, I apologize if I'm not able to reply to everyone's, but I do my best to, at the very least, be able to read the comments if I can. And yeah, again, I'm just ready to get into the next episode, and I look forward to closing this series with you all. Which I guess I can't consider the series fully closed till I hit that, you know, the Christmas special, but as far as the main series goes, I'm really looking forward to watching the next one and closing this out with you all, because it's been a long time coming. A long time coming. So yeah, everyone, it has been a pleasure to watch this with you all. Again, I hope you all enjoyed. Before I close out, if you would like to see this, or, well, if you're watching this and you'd like to see any upcoming episodes, both for Doctor Who, for Steven Universe, and any other shows I might be doing a little bit early, please do go check out the Patreon, a link in the description down below. For as little as $1 a month, you'll be able to catch all of my videos early. Well, at the very least, most of them. There's some that I may just, you know, post at the same time. But any of the Discovering series, you'll be able to watch those as soon as I have them uploaded. Anywhere from a day to possibly over a week before they actually go public. So yeah, definitely invited to do that. If you don't want to, don't worry. I appreciate you all just watching these videos and commenting and liking and subscribing. You all are absolutely amazing, my Kenvians. I'll end it at that there. End it at that though. Yes, the ADHD is in high gear right now. But until next time, everyone, for The Doctor Falls, I am Papa Kenn, and I will see you all for the next episode of Discovering Doctor Who, and I, for one, can't wait. Until next time, everyone, Allons-y!